So this is a light one, Cadence. Cadence. So again, I say that a lot. Again, the not so much heavy ones. I might seem a little down, a little low energy. This is a marathon, not a sprint. I realized that after the first couple dozen videos. Also, I'm starting to work out again. I've done about a week back, so my body's pretty sore. I'm hitting it hard. I eased into it, but I like my fifth, sixth workouts now. So now I'm starting to hit it at 100% strength. So I am, yeah, I'm just in it for the long haul, and it's good. I feel good. We're gonna knock this out. So, but this one's a silly one. To give back a little bit to the culture of the military and the things that I liked in the military. I really liked running. I am. I'm working out and I'm trying to get some of my strength back. Well, hopefully I get all of my strength back. I think I said that I could bench press 85 pounds in each hand. It'd be nice to get up to 100 someday. When I was in the military and I first started working, I started at like 35, 45. So I was a skinny little 135, 140 pounder. Always wanted to put on weight. In bulking up, I've gotten over 205. I got up to 200, 205. I usually walk around about 180, 183 about. And if I was lean, I'd probably be down at 170. When I did my homeless walk, after I got evicted in July 27th, I think, August, September, October, and then I ended up here at my folks' house in October, mid-October. But for those couple months, I was bouncing around with friends. Sometimes I was homeless when friends didn't have room for me. I got down to like 160s, I guess. So I dropped 15, 20 pounds on the street. And now I'm starting to get back. So I think I'm back at 170s, starting to get some of that strength back. But right now, let's see, I'm at 60 pound each hand. But I'm just now hitting at full strength. So I'm hoping every week or two I'll add on 5 pounds to that and I'll get back up to like about 80, 85 dumbbell each hand, bench press. And then there's other measurements. My row was up to on the machine about 165. Never really been. I should do more. Shit, I haven't done that. I should do more squats. I haven't done squats yet. Deep squats. Or, yeah, my core is kind of my blind spot. I do back and lower back some, and I do some legs, but we'll see what I do for the deadlift and deep squats. Those are good for your kinetic chain, help tie your core together, all those big movements. That's why I do a lot of dumbbell exercise. I forgot what I was doing on my overhead. I think I was doing 55 pounds each hand, and then my curls I was up to like 45 pounds. So right now I'm down to like 30, 35 on the curls. On the triceps, I was probably doing like 65, 75 pounds overhead. And what else? On the dumbbell flies, I was doing like probably like 45 pounds. But I do these funny flies I learned in Mexico. This guy was doing them. You hold your hands over your head. You lay back on the bench, and then you raise your hands over your head, and then swing them out, and then you do the fly, and that's one. And then you come all the way. So you're really doing this movement, which is good, I guess, for your whatever you call this, the serratus or whatever, the outer chest, not the back part, but it's for the chest. But there's an exercise where you put your hands over your head, and you go like that, but you're landing on your back, and then you're pulling on the side chest. So this is like the negative of that going back, but then you go outwards, which has tension on your chest, and then you come in. It's a lot harder fly to do, and stuff like that. If you do the motion carefully, you'll I think it's good for your shoulder socket. So all that stuff could possibly fuck you up if you're doing it wrong. But I think if you do a low weight and you concentrate on the motion, then that whole rotation going back, if you're laying on your back and then going off to the side and then coming up for the fly like you're hugging a tree, I think that's good for your shoulder socket. For me anyways, I've never really had a major injury from working out, and so whatever I'm doing seems to be working for me. But you have to listen to your body. That's a part of the philosophy of working out, just like you have a philosophy of sex, we'll talk about that too, a philosophy of sales, stuff you learn from your own personal experience, a philosophy of human nature. So this last week has reminded me, all right, my body, how does my body work? Where are my kinks? And just to be able to, at 36, in your 30s, to come back into it and start working out again without injuring yourself is a victory, I think. Take some humility, be like, all right, slowly but surely build it back up. Because I've had it before where I jump back too fast into it, and then you tweak something, and now you have to be out for like a week or two. So far I haven't hurt myself, and so far I've gained a little bit of strength. But more importantly, I've gained a range of motion and remembering my kinetic, how I feel. Doesn't mean I'm not sore, though. And so that's a little bit why I'm a little quiet, because it was a good workout this morning. Also, oh, that's what I was going to mention. So we'll read this in a second. So, just to capture this moment, November 2018, I jumped on this Tinder because I had an ex who I thought was kind of waiting for me to get out of my poverty funk, but I think she just doesn't really know me enough. I was only with her for about a year, and so I definitely seemed crazy probably, and she thought anyway, she's a beautiful girl. She's a dancer, and I'm pretty sure that door is closed now. So I was like, and I've been homeless and after you lose the apartment, I was bouncing around with friends, but it's been about 4 or 5 months now. No sex, no girl relationships. And now that I'm doing this and I plan on getting money and selling a book project or monetizing my writing somehow soon. I don't have money yet to date, but if I get a good connection, I can kind of envision on like a hookup scenario or something. Or if I'll sell some insurance. I'll do something. But if I get a chance to get laid, it'd probably be healthy for me. So I jumped on this Tinder thing. I really don't like it, but then again, I'm not really socializing. Other than the gym, there's not much I'm doing to put myself in a situation to run across girls. I guess I could run into some old high school stuff from being in Southern California, but I don't relate to those people so much anymore. I don't keep in contact with. I've been trying to on the Facebook, but I just gave that up again. So I tried the Tinder thing, and then yeah, and then I'll share that with you guys, well, with myself, and I can look back at this. So there's this one, swipe every day, and eventually you get some people who think you're cute. I'm trying not to shave the beard. I think I might even rock the beard through 2019. So I'm not going to really sacrifice too much of who I am to try to get laid, but it'd be nice to get laid. So it's going to have to be something where someone, I guess, just thinks I'm attractive or there's a connection. So I have a couple girls who seem to have swiped. You just do it enough. You invest time and effort into yourself that you'll have some sort of luck that will attract some sort of person. I have some decent pictures from like a life well lived. That's another thing, like being in the Caribbean and stuff. So my profile's not the worst. I could probably make it better, but I'm not trying to put too much effort into this. So 5 girls so far. One girl messaged her. I obviously didn't say the right things. She didn't respond. The next girl, nice tattoos. You an artist? No response either. So I'm like, all right. A little bit harder than I thought it was gonna be. But I'm saying this to like that way. If anyone else sees it, it's like this is how sales goes. It might be 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20. You're still in the game. You'll eventually get your traction. If this doesn't work, try a different approach. Eventually there'll be an approach that works. This girl's looking for a sugar daddy. So I'm like, what's good? Looking to party? What you into? You look like a wild one. No response, but I don't even have the money for that chick anyways. But I've been with that type of chick, so I was like, maybe if I could get her interested, maybe I can get myself into. I've been with people where like they were trying to come up on me, but then I ended up having a good time, and I didn't really have to have a like if they're wild and they just want a good time, and you know how to party, then sometimes it's those girls aren't as materialistic as they come off with, as they just want a good time. And yep. Anyways, party girls are interesting. And then another girl who was like in their 30s, so I tried the mature approach. Cute, no kids or marriages, and local. What passes for qualifications when you date in your 30s? Lol. What's good? What's your story? So I think that was too cynical. Cute, no kids or marriages, and you're local. What passes for qualifications when you're dating in your 30s? It's like these people who like do this for like a living to hook up with people off of Tinder is like, and that's what I'm realizing. If I wanted to actually get like a casual thing, I should probably be more direct. And that's what this last girl showed me, because I tried to lead with some intellectual stuff. I was like, when I was younger, I would way too much that sensitivity with like every girl that you're trying to have sex with is all of a sudden like the love of your life, and it turns off these girls because they're probably more experienced than you, so they are used to more casual stuff. So just it's not that you have to be romantic, not that you have to be casual, just allow the opportunity to develop on its own accord and don't project into it. So I could say these things, but to live by them is different. So with this girl, I'm like, I'm writing a history of civilization right now. You seem smart. No offense. Lol. Any recommendations? It's not the best, but I'm trying to say I'm smart, you're smart. Someone that I can have a conversation with. And she says, that sounds interesting. I read a book called Last Mughal. So I look it up. It's Indian colonial history. And I'm like, just look that book up. It looks awesome. I'm all about histories of empire. See, I knew you were smart. I'm sounding a little bit dorky here. But like I'm erring on that side as opposed to sounding. And then this might be a projection too. It's like, should probably be more direct. And that's what you learn in sales too, is getting back into a sales process, getting back into trying to get laid or trying to like have some female companionship. I'm just being lazy. I'd probably have a lot more luck if I just went to a bar because these things happen. How you carry yourself, how you sit at a bar and drink a beer, glancing at a girl, starting a conversation. So much faster way to tell what type of person you are. With this, it's like I have to like one step here and then that might be interpreted a different way and then another step and that might be interpreted a different way. So it's like I'm struggling because I'm being lazy. If I really wanted to, I walked by this bar on the way to the gym the other day and there were some girls sitting outside and I kind of got a look. Like that's all you need in real life. Invest in yourself, make yourself attractive compared to the rest of your population. I look like a wild man with this beard, but it's not the worst look. And now this plus with a little bit of confidence and a couple decent conversation starters in real life. It's real simple. If you're at a bar and you're a girl with some other girls and you're single, you're obviously open for something. So I think that would probably be, but then again, with the no money, I don't really have money to be sitting around at the bars, and I'm not. So I guess I'm looking for kind of something casual. So I might have run across it. So I tell her, "How's Tinder treating you? Crazy, romance, mixture of the two." And these are all like a day or two. So like I messaged her and I waited a day, and then she messages me, and then so I don't wait a day before I reply back, but I reply back, and then she waits a day. So like yesterday I said, "How's Tinder treating you?" And today she's like, "Haha, I'm just looking for something casual and convenient." And then I'm like in my mind I'm thinking, "Oh shit." This she reminds me, and this is what you just have to live life honestly and sincerely, and you'll course correct as you go. So I'm over here trying to act like, are you smart? You seem smart. Let's be able to have a conversation. When it's like, nah, there's some girls on here just looking to hook up too. But so maybe her interaction, even if this doesn't work out, this is a fifth one now. Maybe I should be a little bit more direct. Look, and I'm just kind of, but I see, but then I could be too direct with that whole like I'm just trying to get my dick wet. I think it's hilarious, and I love being that direct. But this girl who says I'm looking for something casual and convenient, she says that because I'm being too much like, what do you read? What are you about? I'm trying to write this book. So she's like, yo, I'm just trying to be casual. So I'm like, all right, hey, I'm casual and convenient. I actually wrote that. I'm casual and convenient. Not sure how much longer past December I'll be out here just trying to sell this book project I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I'm looking for a decent company. And then I thought, wait a minute, that might sound still too attached. So then I said quickly after that, I mean, if you're just looking to hook up, I'm cool with that too. Usually don't lead with that. I'm rusty with this app dating stuff. So I'm sounding a little hesitant, but if we could get to an in-person meeting, I'm sure that we'd vibe. She seems cute. She's, I think, Indian or Arabic. They seem to like me. Um, but yeah, my vibe usually in person is a little bit more charming, but this whole internet dating is like you gotta get through these initial. So sometimes I might be a little bit more aggressive on the next couple matches I get. I seem to be getting a couple a day. No, like one a day, one every other day. So over a week I have 5 now, and then there's a couple of like there's one catfish in there, obviously or there's 2. Yeah, so out of 5 over a week, what are my numbers? This is how sales goes. Over a week, I have 5 matches, and 2 of them are just catfish sugar mamas where they just try to give you a text message and get your money from you, and who knows if they're even real girls. So out of 5, 2 of them were bullshit, and then 3 were real, and out of those 3 that were real, 1 of them responded, and then 2 no response. So that's not that bad for this type of thing. So even if this girl, her name is Fatima, even if Fatima doesn't respond, I'll give her a day or 2. It seems like you have to understand from her end too, when you're younger, projecting your insecurities. I was the guy who would, like, if you don't hear back from the girl, you send her another message and another. I already feel like that was bad for sending her 2 messages, but I'm trying to show her steadily that I just am who I am and I'm pretty solid. And I think that's what I've learned, what girls would like. It's too much to have them have to now manage your energy. So give them space. She has a bunch of other dudes who knows how many messages these girls are getting. She obviously likes my pictures, thinks I'm somewhat attractive. Trying to tell her, whatever you're looking for, I'm probably looking for the same thing, something similar. But then she's reminding me, maybe I should be a little bit more straightforward. But what do I want? I don't know what I want either. But anyways, that's interesting. Here's the cadence. I think military people are probably figuring that shit out too. Young men trying to date. So however your Tinder game goes, these are some of my... We will keep it posted. I'm going to do these videos for, I think, another 2 weeks, 3 weeks is going to take me to get through this. Maybe I'm in 4 weeks. So we'll see if Fatima works out over that time. And the next one, I might be a little bit more direct as far as what I want. I should use that dick wet line. This radical honesty. I will try that line. I would do that when I was younger and just say shit to amuse myself. But that wasn't good either. So it's a balance. Us complicated people in person, it's a lot easier to get the nuances of our personality. But through this internet and the texting and stuff like that, it's hard to fit a personality into that. So, cadence. Somewhere in the Middle East, a soldier swings his M16. Somewhere near the oil wells, a soldier swings his way through hell. Baking in the desert heat, sweats for you and sweats for me. Whenever the fight begins, I will be the first one in, said the Ghani to his men in the Battle of Baghdad. Whenever we cannot lose, I will lead you room to room, said the sergeant to his troops in the Battle of Baghdad. Whenever you find the guys, I'll destroy them from the skies, said the airmen from on high in the Battle of Baghdad. Whenever the fight is done, I'll be here to take you home, said the ensign off the coast in the Battle of Baghdad. So, the way cadence works is, and this is one of my favorite things out of the military and basic training, is you're running, and then one person's yelling out the cadence, and then everyone's yelling out to follow. And it's really cool when you're running with a couple dozen or over 100 soldiers, and we're all yelling the same shit. And it's really motivating. It helps keep your mind off of the running, especially if you're doing a really hard run. So somewhere in the Middle East, somewhere in the Middle East. Road behind me. Alright, somewhere in the Middle East, somewhere in the Middle East, a soldier swings his M16, soldier swings his M16, somewhere in the oil fields, somewhere in the oil fields, soldier swings his way through hell, soldier swings his way... I don't think I said that right. Baking in the desert heat, baking in the desert heat, sweats for you and sweats for me, sweats for you and sweats for me. And now what I did is every verse has a different insignia of a different branch of the armed forces, all of them. So we've talked about war, like the war profiteers, the warmongers, the ones who put us in there. We talked about the people who were interrogating who have no intelligence value, and the terrorists that we're creating through our injustice and us propagating cycles of violence. But then our soldiers are also human, so I wanted to make it cadence, just something for like the soldiers. And I didn't sell this stuff, and I don't even know if I'll ever put it in any work for sale. But just personally, as a writer, I've humanized the victims of violence who leads to the violence of terrorism, and I've tried to understand the perpetrators of war. Let's make sure that we're remembering that the soldiers also are human. And my favorite thing about being a soldier was running in cadences, or one of the favorite things. So I put, that's what the Battle of Baghdad is like. Regardless, these guys went and served and did a job. And so I imagine, if this ever gets out and if people wanted to use this cadence, it's a cool cadence. I don't know if they would, though, because it might be too political. But Whenever the fight begins, whenever the fight begins, I will be the first one in. So that's the gunny and the Marines. That's a reputation. The first one in, boots on the ground. Marines are the ones who do that. Whenever we cannot lose, whenever we cannot lose, I will lead. And then so are the army. The army also are the boots on the ground. But the Marines, that's why they call them bullet catchers. Not as a derogatory, it's just that's what the pride is. Is the pride is that they're the people who are at the forefront of any war we have. Whenever you find the guys, whenever you find the guys, I'll destroy them. So now this is just modern warfare. So you have your air support that comes in. You have artillery. You have like, from what I was reading, and I would like to read more about modern warfare and strategy. You have your ground support and like your Cav Scouts and people who go and engage with the enemy. You have your artillery that stands behind the place of engagement. I don't these terms, I'm ruining them. I'm not sure how to describe them. But you have people shooting artillery from away from the fight, but into the fight. And then you have people who are in the fight engaging. And then you also have air support coming over the top. So that's the airmen over here, the Air Force. And then the ensign off the coast is the Navy, the guys who ship the guys over there. So you fly them into the war zone, and they also ship them into the war zone. Do they ship soldiers or do they ship Marines? Maybe just the Marines come over on the boat, and maybe the Army are flown in. I'm not sure, but I find it interesting. I find the culture interesting, and yeah. And then also I've talked a little bit about Shaz. Still somewhat homeless and still poor, but now trying to date. At my lowest, I've gotten some really interesting female connections. So it'd be interesting to see what type of play I get right now at this point in my life. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. I'll keep myself posted.